Well, howdy. Now that we scared everybody off, let's continue. So I'm smacking. Okay. Alright. Taking my sweet ass time. Ready to get to security 2. Euphoria room or whatever the fuck it was 3. So the only other one I can think of is the good. Lasted this thing. Alright. What? Had my lunch, my dinner. Walmart fucking guacamole. Right. Welcome. Can't go too wrong. Might as well. We learn about Prism now.
Take a moment to express my gratitude to each and every member of Prism. Your tireless work, your dedication, and your remarkable foresight. I suspect those back home are utterly unprepared for what we shall find. Once the ward is operational, our real work begins. And I look forward to it with great anticipation.
The word. I assume not like a place people stay sick or anything like that. Be like a ward and like a seal kind of way. A proper moonwalk. Cool. That is cool. Gotta ground it. Oh, that's chapter 5. We are on the moon. Alright, I gotta turn it up a bit. Now that we got a little music. On my end, at least. all of our ends. That seems like there's. Oh. So what is whatever they called it? Ass crack of the moon or this or whatever the I don't think that's where we're going right now. Are we going to the annex or something? A hidden loading screen would have been nice. All good. Oh, just some reason. Really, we left that guy behind, right? Be going back. Cool lighting. The different strength of effervescent going through these like dirty. I mean, I've seen these that dirty. I don't know. Diffuser is fade. What is our task? Founder of prison. But he's not doing too good. L9. It's done.
proof of our will, our perseverance, our
Proof of-
vision. Soon the canal will speak.
Get around it by manually entering the chemical formula. Alright. People losing themselves to the mysterious otherworldly power. My space station thing. Probably where we need to go, but let's see what's over here. Okay. My guy being really fucking loud. Dude. Wonder if that's our goal. Cistern user ID. Maria. No. I know Maria. I want to say no. See if we can figure it out with this. Also nothing. Got something. don't even know if we had any other ways to go. I'll open this door. Yeah. Maria! Little Shadow the Hedgehog free there. What the people want, what the people need. Go back. Okay. Listen. Mason's ID 4369. Okay. That's why they put that there. Good. Native. Mountains of Madness going on. Maybe the thing we saw before, something created people, but I guess that's not really Mountains of Madness. That there are native things that have been here so long they've kind of changed. Their creations are taken over type of thing. Who knows? Shortcut. Not quite. Can't come in here. I feel like the most wonky bit of immersion. So you can't crouch and use your fucking gun. That guy follows, unless that's somebody else. I mean, denizen of the moon, you can just walk, probably. In this door. Certainly doesn't seem like it. Online solution, disinfectant compiler, main control lab, decontaminator to source new sample for E9 testing from the cistern. I'm not supposed to use all that info. Classic, fucking around while some dude chases me to the ends of the fucking earth. As long as I don't have to do a bunch of puzzling while he's sitting right there. Click, brother. CU2 plus. Active one. Here. Sodium bicarbonate. H2. Copper ion. Copper ions. We don't want chloride. We don't want strong acids. Hydrogen peroxide then. What about the stabilizer? EDTA, maybe? Oh, great. Alright. Let's go ahead and take this just in case. Can. I don't know about the cistern and all that. They require it. They might. This might be where we get the idea to get to it.
Such sorrow in her eyes. Or is it heartache? How lonely she must have been. I'm here now.
She? You talking about the creature, the thing, the something? 10 limbs. Choked on an apple. Oh. 4716. That's not farther back. I'm not sure. Oh, here. Yeah. He's not waiting for the ladder animation, man. He's just rolling. Kinda down here now. How about some loud noises? As a treat. All the way back now. should be like our guy or something. In visions. I mean, we arrived. Maybe there's something weird to it. I mean, that thing just breaks your fucking neck. It's not exactly shy about it. So if they weren't gonna ever kill you, then be one of those game inconsistencies.
The canal whispers my name, urging me forward. Okay. One final moment. One last glance upon her face before I leave.
Yeah. An ongoing cycle of natural actions and patterns. Your brain. Williams Terminal. That's who we're here for. Remember what it was? Seeing it recent. So I haven't used it once. What do we got, boss? Every one of these has some guy doing that every few seconds and breathing. Not it's always the same guy or what? Fucking and choked on the apple. Being of the moon. The The moon entity. Founder's pretty special guy. Granted. Probably not much choice in the matter. Assuming it's flexing on his brain. I really need to go back the long way. Already been chased in a canal once. Not the canal.
Don't give up.
Is that him talking or someone talking to him? Time to go back. All the way back. Restore or you just some clean and repair early 2000s era electronics? Sounds cool. Story. Electronics repairs. Cool. Wonder if the story and all that's good and like a long game or you like little upgrades. Some nostalgia. Although it's gotta be all legally distinct stuff. It's a lot of nostalgia for brands. The anime thing where it's like the BSB or some shit. Gotcha. Right. Makes sense. Yeah. Chill, clean and shit. Looked like it had a little bit more story than like a car wash or something. Gotcha. The bot spam. I wish they wouldn't show me if something got caught on auto mod. If it was like certain, if I could like flag a certain text as like a message I don't want to even see. It just like shot like 2 or 3 bots on the screen. You guys, you're not mods, you can't see it. Luckily. It's like I don't want to see it. Oh, okay. Does it feel like it's more of a story thing then? Leading pretty simple. Gotcha. I thought it was more like you're putting together real electronic. Chapter 6 Legacy. But we'll be moving into the final moments or something here soon. It needs that kind of final kick in the ass. On control. Long has been alive. Okay. When do they plan on releasing? Good problem. Gotcha. My man's just chilling. I can see you peeking. You're not coming here, brother. You're too big. He is too big. Cozy game. Made a whole thing out of it. That's right, bitch. Shut. My man was waiting. I think he's more aggressive now, or I'm just running into him more. I could just go ahead of the ecography. No problem, but the archives are right here. A lunar ultrasound must be performed by both pawns and proceed to ecography. Okay. Flip Ogden. OG done. The moon is pregnant? Hey, maybe. It's getting a little eldritch, maybe. Getting a little crazy. I gotta turn this on. Bubba Gump's over here. Yeah, it's been neat. Better than I would have hoped or expected. After the dev process and stuff. Cool, it kind of went from a roguelite to this. Very, you know, classic run and hide and all that, but I like that you can kind of hide in more natural spots, and I like you have mouse and keyboard fiddling with the gun and all that. Cool. We'll see where the story goes and all that. Got the they're reaching for the stars, but it's executed well. You know, spooky thing beyond humans in the space station type of deal. But I like that. So, yeah, well, I was playing with controller for a little bit on a very small stream I did of this, and then I just restarted mouse and keyboard. Much more fun to fool around with. I like all the different ways you can bend down and fool around. They don't really use it as much as I was expecting, but it's still pretty cool. Yeah, the gun's neat. Puzzles feel a little bit more in-world. Nice. We're out here being an actual fucking repairman. Later, Atlas. It's neat. I feel like I'm getting near the end. It's not supposed to be a long game. Yeah, the cassette futurism shit I think is pretty well done. It's got some of that kind of like liminal spaces meets alien kind of thing. Neat. Good aesthetic. These games that are in dev for eons, dev hell and all that, don't always end up well. Glad it's at least solid. I want to read this. I'll listen to this, but Bubba Gump's fucking with me over here.
This reality divergent from my expectations. The canal, the moon. It requires us. We require it. Another contraction.
Yeah. Does feel like that's what they're going for. Yeah, I'm just taking it extra slow. It's been good. A little bit more spooky when you actually kind of gotta be patient and careful with some of these creatures. I mean, you could definitely just like run past them a lot of the time. They're not like too bad to do. Immediate and due to the ripening and induction terminal. Ripening and induction terminal. Ripening. Fuck if I remember that. Not like farther back, is it? Love this shit. Being able to like hide while I'm clicking this. It's a shame you can't fuck with your gun while you're the canal needs. The induction door is now open. Canal's this way. Going back. Not yet. Soon. Something to click here. You have to. We're going back. So. Going to it. Although we kind of after that. But now the AI just sort of showed up here. Makes some motherfucker wonder. Where is this? Here? System. The path. Might be the path. That sounds kind of like the level of severity, magnitude where we're gonna be going. Yeah, let's try the path. That might be like deep down the red area. Cause I mean, this place is a bit more open. I don't remember every little chunk. Found it. All was made for me. Very cool. Walk into that fan. Bro, I'm not going back to last save, right? Think about the immersion.
Keep pushing forward.
You want constant action? Resident Evil? Playing an atmosphere spooky. How have you not seen a monster? Amniotic brine. And robots and freakzoids. Even unlucky then. I mean, it's not like it's full of monsters. They exist, they exist. Canal is ready. Back we go. A little backtracking in this last moment. I mean, it makes sense. We're going for more immersion. Pop up in the next area. What's up, Outcast? I'm back. Alright. Well, we're probably near the end, so. Near your ass. Mangaside's got fucked. What is like the... I mean, it fits in this. The film grain, it works well in this. It's not like Starfield where it's doing it for like a faux aesthetic because they don't really have anything good. This like fully develops the cassette future looking like VHS thing, right? But yeah, it is. You know, that is kind of the green is kind of part of the. What is like a like a proper place to go find manga these days, anyways. Oh, idiot. Oh. Huh? This is supposed to be the thing she shot out. Yeah, I wish there was a stronger alternative. Oh, battery, really? Oh, feel that. The canal. It gets weird, man. I guess. I just figured there'd be like a halfway decent proper channel like there's with books.
You've come so far. One final step.
fetal position and shit. Happy symbol. I don't know if we like physically had to go in the fetal position or symbolic mental thing, and this is kind of some beyond time and space sort of area portal to the moon, or like to the moon. Came in on.
Together. We begin anew. Through me, you endure. Through you, I endure.
Okay. Here, current. This canal. These flowers the guy was drawing. And obviously we saw on PowerPoint videos she made or whatever, that one lady. Chapter 1. Is that what the name of the original chapter 1 was? Okay. Well, I assume they're not saying it's a loop. Maybe more that that's where you came from, and then that's where you ended up, in a way. Maybe it'd be kind of other. Probably they're talking about 2025. People came and saw a bunch of stuff. I don't know if the idea is supposed to be like whatever's down there with like taking people, or maybe not taking people, giving life to shit in general. As well as I'd have to probably go catch some of the details. Um, I don't want to like think myself in a knot, like I had to abstract it out to be like some kind of time loop thing. Oh, feel free. I don't mind at all. I'll probably kind of throw out what I was thinking, and yeah, it's one of those I feel like you'd have to play and kind of grab a bunch of little bits and pieces. I mean, obviously everybody's like affected by what's going on here. There's some, on the surface, it's a classic sci-fi thing where there's some kind of thing beyond and space, adventure, time, whatever, something eldritch probably, something like that, affecting people, and something that they discovered a long time ago. And there's like the Prism Institute that's there to kind of discover what it is, it's a fucking marker or something, right? But and it affects a lot of shit. That they show the flowers, that one of the ways to like cope with the post canal sickness is the flower tea. Makes you think that maybe it's runs a little deeper than everybody expects. But I don't know, there's a lot of wordplay with birth, the canal, the contractions, stuff like the earthquake, and maybe being like a kicking or something. Your theory is going to be the female one that checked on the neighbor of the moon, along with the fungus infected everyone. You. And the point that they would be different, I'd assume, would be when you come out of the canal that one time. Halfway through to meet Entity B and all that, you kind of lose it. I don't know if you're supposed to be the same guy or two different guys. I mean, I guess because you see the same dude at the end, maybe it's supposed to be, yeah, some kind of timey-wimey something or other with the canal. It's the only option to inject the antibiotic both, yes, has the ability to create life. Canal, birth canal, yeah. Amniotic fluid and all that. It's the humans of the canal. Specfurs is collecting more data or DNA to try and make its offspring human. Yeah, because unless it was just like the biomass it used would create Entity B, it seems more like it's trying to like. But I don't know what it needs to create, right? Right. I could see that. I mean, that would fit for sure. I guess the idea is that Prism just kind of waits, or is it got more of like a cultish following of some kind of greater thing, so they just like let engineers go? I mean, our engineer guy seemed to be kind of a believer by the end of this, chunk of it. Had to do it and all that, but I mean, then again, they seem to get infected by the fungus and it just kind of pulls them there. Night Outcast. I'm sorry I didn't respond to you guys earlier. I'm kind of focused then. I wish there was a stronger manga location. Yeah, it's hard to get a read on if Prism is like extremely like, I don't know if the word's dogmatic, but extremely, like zealots, or if it's just infection. I don't think it's like a Dead Space marker thing where it's like, just proximity alone is like mentally fucking you, but I mean, maybe. I guess it doesn't really matter. It's more that they do it. But the more question more is like, if they just let people show up every 20, 30 years, I mean, I guess they just are cool with that. They're just like sacrificing them. Because it's not like we're in some space station in the middle of nowhere where it's like just letting out a signal and somebody's happening by. This is like the moon, right? Like people know. They're thinking, they're just sending people, and that's like, I guess they're just doing it for research. Maybe that's why they're sending robots. But then I don't know why they send a human too in the future. So what happened when they swapped over? I'm trying to remember. It was like, because that was weird because we came out of the canal. I was like, how the hell did we end up here? But sometimes he just loses track of where he is. Not too often. There's that one part where the NTDB touches him, but he's just in the same place. And I assume that's more supposed to be like fungus progression. I guess so. The AI is not useful enough. Oh yeah, that's what happened. You shut down the AI. I just like literally, I just don't remember the event. Let me turn on the light. Ugh. Okay. Shut down the AI. I figured the idea of the AI was supposed to be that it was like, well, because they respond. There's like like dialogue and stuff about the AI, like the robots picking up people in bags. So do they send an entire new crew? In like 1990, whatever the fuck? Is that what people assume? 1999? Because there's data logs about the robots. That's not just engineers. Unless they send a whole new crew. But then the technology doesn't change at all in the 20 years, which is a little weird. Unless it's just a new facility and where they retrofit it. Okay, they're all responding to it. I guess the robots are like picking up the bags to like contain it. The people putting people in bags to contain it. Because I mean, in the beginning, they're talking about the robots are just kind of there, hanging out. Then they're not responding, and it makes it seem like the AI is going haywire. Okay, maybe there is a technical difference. I mean, there is an aesthetic difference. Also, they had like people there, like on hotels, and it's just a little weird. It almost makes it feel like they're there to be like tested. Maybe that's just more. They're there in business, and it feels more resorty. Yeah, especially when they'd have to know about it. So unless they're testing like on them. Like, obviously, the idea of a resort on the moon is, of course, why wouldn't there be? But, like, when they know there's, like, an active prism thing not that far away. I don't know, it's weird. I mean, is the AI pulling a howl, or is the AI protecting people by body bagging them and making them, like, disappear? I don't even know. Are the people even disappearing because of the AI? Or are they just body bagging dead people who turned into like fungus that evaporated? I mean, they beat the shit out of you. I mean, that's the problem. Is like NTDB and them and the robots all beat the shit out of you. So like, it's not like they're trying to be pacifists. Maybe the AI is supposed to be getting like a read on what's going on, and so it's like, you know, it's one of those plots where the AI is like helping humanity as like a whole. So it's like beating the shit out of the individual to save the creator. Yeah, it could be that too. One of those Soma type of thing. Infection or whatever I don't remember every ounce of Soma. Soma's great if you guys never played Soma. If you like this. Although Soma's a little less ambiguous. But yeah. Yeah, that could be it. It's like, you know, I can't remember what other stories I've read. Or either kind of rewrites the DNA and then it's not human anymore, so it beats the shit out of you kind of thing. Right, yeah. Because the ASN is definitely like, trying to help in some. But yeah, that's just, it knows stuff that people don't, kind of things. That's explainable. What happened right after you fixed the AI? That's when that story ends. What happens? I don't remember. I'd have to check my playthrough. Because it kind of just, I don't remember what happens when you shut down the AI, and then it's like, I remember you getting out of like the canal behind you. And then you show up at the you know, entity B thing. The more open map. Because it kind of just cuts your frame of reference, your perspective right after you shut down the AI, right? I think so. Like, you don't like go in the canal, do you? Yeah, it's just hard to say. I mean, I believe it because of the chapter 1 thing at the end. Like, you're just playing out of order. You're playing trilogy, then you're going to no, wait, the opposite. But it's played in out of order or whatever. Yeah, that's okay. But it's more like they just kind of cut your perspective in like kind of a way that doesn't really have any meaning, or maybe there is. I'd have to like see the visuals again. Maybe you succumb to the fungus. I don't remember if the first guy was fungus. I mean, I don't know. There's like a Bioshock thing where it's like you're actually like from the thing, and you just like come back out, do some shit. But I mean, what would be the point? Not explaining it more. I mean, I guess the idea is when the thing comes out, or the dude comes out of his capsule at the end, is it supposed to be you meeting the original guy? Either it's the same guy technically, or like they're mentally the same. Because he's being like, is he being spoken to? Or is he speaking to himself when you hear that guy talking? Or is it supposed to be the founder? I don't remember all the voices. When he's like, you know, don't give up or whatever, trust your instincts and all that shit. Doesn't the ID change pretty early? I thought when you got a new, like when he took that new ID, he just put it on. Cause I could have swore you had a different one right at the start, but maybe maybe that is what happened. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Outer and the moon. Yeah, I mean if they like assimilate, yoink. You know, looking for examples where DNA went up. Remember, because you pick up a lot of IDs, but you don't grab many except like one of the early ones. Because you grab that first one, and then you put it on, and then you like look at it and type it in, which is different from the one you create. Was my thing. He like replaces it. I remember right. I just fucking played it. You think I'd remember, but I didn't think I'd have to. That would be a detail I needed to keep track of. It. Was it a different number from the second one? The whatever her name is one. Yeah, if it's like a third one, then yeah, I mean it would make. I mean it still would make sense, right? Unless it is supposed to be more timey-wimey. Abstracted out, like where you yourself don't know you're going through like different times. Weird. Oh, no, it's cool. I'll have to look more into it. Cute for sure. But yeah, overall, I liked it. It was cool. I don't think it changed my life. I think the aesthetics are great. Sometimes it can be a little. I like the slow burn. I like the pace. In theory, I think it gets a little long in the tooth probably by the last chunks. A few more things or revelations or just moments. There's a fair amount of backtracking, which I think is really cool for immersion. But a little bit more to kind of give it that kick in the ass. It was definitely by the point it was getting ready to end. That was the feel, but yeah, it was the sound. I don't like the sound volume. I think it's way too fucking loud, and then the atmosphere is way too quiet. I'm not much of the loud equals scary type of fan. I think it's kind of just annoying. like a soundscape that's more in my ears, and I don't mind like loud shit. But overall, the sound was still cool. I liked being able to use like the spatial sound to kind of figure out where the guy is. And I think that lent itself really well to the hiding system. I mean, it's classic hiding, right? Big dude chases you that can one-shot you, and then you hide. But in this, instead of like set places like it's haunting ground or fucking some shit, right? You could just go underneath like anything, and you can go pretty deep under stuff. And since you can kind of lean, and that's not super unique, but like you can also get farther down and move up at like different variables. It's cool to kind of try like peek around and look for them and stuff. So I think those immersion things were really cool. The gun, really cool. There's a lot of fun little things you can fiddle with on it. The time it takes to fuck with. I believe so, yes, because I played on 2 different days. I remember that my ID, which was 383 at the time, was asked for work. I looked at the oh, okay. He plays headphones because I have single-sided deafness, which sucks for immersion type stuff, especially in horror games. Yeah, that's rough, but at least, I mean, at least you still can't hear it all, right? But yeah. For me, I mean, yeah, that makes it tough with these spatial games, right? If you're prone to epilepsy, this game would take you out. I mean, at least usually, yeah, I don't think this game has accessibility options for that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'd imagine stuff like an Arc Raiders or like a Battlefield. Luckily, most games don't have like great spatial audio. That's why I even bring it up. So hopefully it doesn't be hard. Well, there's a good reason for spatial audio not to evolve anymore. Our buddy Ogden can not have to worry about it. And who knows? I feel like audio is something that's spatial audio, especially, is something that's pretty. You don't see really played up too much. I mean, they're like audio, like in a big AAA, sure, but as like a mechanic, I feel like Resident Evil, like Mr. X, and all that kind of stuff, uses it. Horror uses it. I mean, horror and like shooters, competitive shooters are probably the genres that use audio as like a gameplay thing. Spatial, probably the most. Oh hell yeah! Well, I mean, yeah, if you didn't lose it, yeah, it's one less year you gotta get blown the fuck out in this game by. Jesus, I didn't like that it had like the fucking Nintendo audio. I really wish you could maybe just turn down the action sounds a little bit. It's really fucking loud. My ears explode. But I liked what they did with the gameplay on it. So that was neat. I think that helped with the immersion. I think the hiding, I think all the messing around with the gun where I actually needed to click shit and it had that cassette VHS look. Very immersive. Yeah, it's very like Nintendo. I feel like Nintendo's the only Nintendo and like people who just don't have like the money to do it. Are the only ones who do that. I get the idea. They want full control of the audio balance. I think that's cool. I usually defer to generally the vision. I'm not the type to mute the music and just play fucking Pink Floyd the whole time or something, unless we're playing a game that has like. But I get that for a game that's wants to be maybe a bit more uncompromising, they want it certain audio. I'm generally try to keep that, but I do think when it's fucked up a little bit, I kind of wish I could just let me take it down a little bit, or set like a range, right? Like Capcom's lets you do like night modes, stuff like that. Because I really feel like there's fans and there's the sound of the station and stuff, and I'd really like to hear that a little more. But it's so fucking quiet. And then when some dude throws his Robocock on the ground, I'm like, fucking God, please. I'm like, primally, surprised because it's so fucking loud, but it's not like really, like, doesn't really bother me. I'm not like shook by it on like a horror way. Right? It's just loud. Conversely, I like, as far as like jump kind of scares go at the end. Maybe he always does this. NTDB is kind of like he's like kind of sitting there around corners and shit. I don't know if I just caught him in like a moment, and then he comes out and it's kind of cool because you're looking and you're like, what the fuck's going on there? And I kind of wish they used the lean and like the reaching above and below stuff a little bit more. I think those are really immersive things. I think it adds a lot of difficulty to have stuff that requires that, so I get them maybe not wanting to have it be more mass appeal. I really, at the beginning, I was like, oh man, I want to have like, where I have to really look around and find little things and kind of lean and play around with that. And as long as the level design and the visuals make it work, so it's not like egregious where I'm like having to check every crack, but like I know there's something in the room and I just kind of look for it. I think that kind of stuff would have been neat. They were talking about looking at the guy through the sights. Didn't really do it. And I like the idea of it because, in horror, obscuring the entities, obscuring the monsters, and not being able to fully see them, it's like Lovecraftian horror, makes them spookier. So seeing them through this like low frame rate, like fuck thing, it's like spooky. But when you're like, giving them a kiss, it gives shape to the monster a little bit more, which is something where you're kind of running from a guy. It's cool still, but I think that would have been kind of neat. They said you could do it, and I did it for a bit, but it's not any point. He wasn't like actually invisible or anything. Just walking around. But still cool. liked. Yeah, I thought that it was just bullshit. Like maybe he's never invisible. And that's the thing. It's like you have the spatial audio. It's like you're gonna go for it. I feel like playing into that, and then having him maybe be a little slower so you could see him on the cam, and then maybe when he gets in a certain range, he starts. Yeah, they used it at the very beginning. Oh no, wait. Yeah, they use it once to grab something from the top. I don't even know if you needed to reach it. It was when you got Ken or Kami, Kai, I can't remember her name, her ID, and then there's the one where you drop yours and you go below. And I was like, ooh, it's gonna be, you know, not immersive sim, but like a, you know, I'm interacting with an area, right? In a more realistic way. I kind of brought that up at the beginning, is like, you know, you play like an RPG or like a point and click, you're like very exhaustive. You go through like every option, which in reality, you know, you would ignore people, you would look for certain things in weird places. And then in a game, I get that could kill pacing and stuff, right? That's why a lot of games have like Batman vision, or they have fucking like objects that are highlighted and they tell you, you know, because you're just Doom guy and you're running through and you just want to shoot shit. But in something slow like this, that's like very methodical, not methodical, you know, that kind of slow pace. I really thought they maybe lean a little into that. I think if they did too much of that, most people would hate it, but I don't know. I think that'd be unique. Played enough games, I'd rather have the unique thing than mass appeal. I wouldn't call it a game. Like my chat, it's not shipping mess. Yeah, I mean, I get that. Like sometimes they want to show them, just so you can be like, "Whoa, surprise!" But that's the thing, is they have the ribbons on the doors where they fly out of the way. You can like look down the hallways pretty far. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I almost feel like he should be invisible just a little more. I mean, him not being invisible is fine, but it's more just like I like the idea of having all these different things on the gun I have to play with, and maybe if he was like a certain speed, I would have to swap to it and flip it around and stuff. Don't, I would say no, play this with fucking controller if you can help it. Unless it has key bindings for those swaps, because, well, I didn't have to shoot anything at all, hardly. I did just for like, because I thought there's nothing else I could do, or just like for fucking RP, just let a few shots off. It was kind of cool, the idea. I'd be like walking, I have to like fiddle with it, instead of like swapping guns, you know, out of my chest, like I did. So those are little things there. But yeah, like I said, overall the aesthetics were cool. I feel like the lore and all that, as far as just kind of like learning everything through data logs, pretty classic for horror. There was definitely some visual storytelling and all that. They dole out not a lot over a very long period, but I think the visual, you know, the visuals of it all, and then a little bit of intrigue as you go, keeps you jacked in. I would definitely say it's the aesthetics and the general atmosphere more than the story. Like, I'm interested in what the story's about by the end of it, but until that point, I'm not really too interested. I'm just like, oh yeah, it's kind of classic sci-fi horror. What flavor of eldritch thing is this? But the idea that like maybe there's like different time perspectives and like how it's affecting people, cool. But it's the look of it all, the feel of it, where it's kind of liminal and all that. Yeah, that's another thing, is by the end I was just kind of like, maybe it needs a little shot in the ass. If this guy was like slowly creeping around and I had to hide for like 10 more years, like I like the hiding when it's like very, you know, in the beginning the robots are running by, so I close the doors. I'm like, listen. I'm like, that's kind of cool. You know, that kind of element's alright, but in the more open area with the NTDB, he's kind of just brooding around there, so it's like, yeah, if he became even more of a problem, or since you have to manually save, I could see maybe if he was too powerful when he's invisible, that'd be like a problem. I think you just slow him down a little bit, have it be even stronger on the audio. Generally, the spatial audio is like you could hear him from like different floors and stuff, kind of like RE2 remake. It was neat. I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think any of this is like a game. It's just little things. I didn't mind that it was more. Oh, the puzzles and stuff. Yeah, I thought those were neat. Those felt more in-world, right? You're kind of messing around with compounds and shit. You know, you do that in like Resident Evil and all that, but it has a little more of a gamey feel. And this, it feels like you're kind of like an actual repair guy, like fucking around a little bit, and you bend down and you're turning shit on and off. And I kind of almost wanted to lean a little bit more into the difficulty of that kind of thing. Not like figuring out compounds, but like fooling around with it. I think they did a good job on that. Those immersive elements. Oh, the locker puzzle, yeah. I had to hide under a bench and put it all together. I thought of like 20 different fucking solves, and then the right one, the most obvious one, was like my 5th or 6th or 20, like 4 or 5. I just put them all down in a row. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go try them all so the guy doesn't, I don't have to figure it out while he's trying to kill me. And one time I died because he did walk up and kill me, which is cool to see. Broke your neck. Oh yeah, I do enough puzzles where it's all right. The problem is when you can interpret a puzzle way too many different flavors. Easy to kind of overthink it. Because I was thinking at the start it was left to right on the pictures, but then I thought it was left to right like you're reading it like a paragraph in English, and then I was like, oh, it's left to right column. Okay. And obviously you flip it mirrored or, and I was like, so it was like the last one I tried. I think it's fine. Maybe it could be a little bit more obvious, but I think the difficulty on the puzzle, a lot of that. And I liked it when it had to do with the world. Like there was the one I spent the longest on was the fucking the one where you shoot the box to get the elevator to reboot in the mall. And I'm like, dude, what's with the fucking grease, man? I can't. It's like unclear, and it's because I just drug the window randomly to the middle. I'm like, bro, I finally realized, I'm like, oh, you just gotta drag the window somewhere. It's in the world. It works. And it's like, I like it when it's stuff like that, where it's like, oh yeah, you actually play with like a cool, unique part of the mechanics, right? Like, oh, I'm just dragging, like if I was in like reality, it's like, yeah, but it's like you're so used to like gaminess, where it's like things are like attached to their fucking like the object, and it's like I don't even think about it. Oh yeah, of course. Those moments were cool. Turn it off on Uru. Well, it wasn't a fucking flex. A fucking Uru gamer. Yeah. Uru is fucking hard. But yeah. Those moments were cool. Yeah, so overall solid, better than I would expect. It's got the Duke Nukem Forever thing going on, where it took eons, and I can't tell you the games I've played with that kind of dev time and that kind of, the restarting that just don't work out. That's fair. I think that's probably a pretty clean way to rate it. I don't do number ratings as much as I do rant. So it'd be hard to say what I would give it, but I think that's fair, yeah. Yeah, it was interesting this was roguelite before, which maybe kind of you could see where the Ogden's theory and all that would play in, where you're like a different person going into this place over and over. I could see maybe some of the DNA surviving there. I would say with this gameplay, a roguelite would have been horrible. Because, I mean, there's very little mechanics and very little, like, progression. And that's fine. It's more of like a walking sim kind of exploration. or system light thing, you know. It's definitely not something you do like another run, you know, kind of thing, and then just run from the boogeyman. Because those elements are kind of, I mean, what can you do to a certain extent? Like, yeah, I mean, boogeyman gameplay's been in there since like Clock Towers. So I'm fine with it, and then like running around and hiding and all that stuff. It's cool. I think the little things like how you hide and how you mess with shit and the level design and the pace of the story and how that integrates with it. You know, it could be like haunting around where it's just like really annoying. But like, this one I think keeps it clean enough. I don't see it working with this. I mean, it's probably changed so much, but I'm glad they didn't. I mean, this is more typical. Which I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? It had its unique stuff that I'll reference back to. But yeah. Well, that's the thing in horror. I mean, you die enough, kill some of the atmosphere. It'd be running around from the boogeyman in a randomized world where you just kind of are used to the mechanics and how he works and trying to get it clear instead of like existing in the world and the immersion. It's like, you know, in Hades, I'm trying to get it clear. I'm trying to get through it. I'm trying to think about the run. I wouldn't be thinking. I'm not thinking about like the monster as much and like a spooky. I mean, you could do it. There are. Maybe there is games like that. I thought but there's definitely like roguelite hybrids. Dungeon crawler RE one and stuff came out houses. But yeah, though that's more like playing into the gameplay than it is. Yeah, it'd be interesting. There's games that have like a spooky, you know, vibe or aesthetic, like a Returnal that could do it, but it's like it's not really a horror thing. It just has like a surrealism. And it's like maybe you could do that. But, if you, I would not want to play a boogeyman game like Amnesia as a roguelite. Just would it'd be fucked. Well, unless there was a shitload of monsters and the procedural generation was crazy and the roguelite was actually pretty short. Right? Like it's one of those where you like beat it in like 10 hours. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'd rather just go to like different zones and clear it, like different characters. Or it's gonna be like that. I don't know if it's gonna be like more gaming. So. Yeah, I mean, that'd be more fit for like Resident Evil, which I mean, there are random mods that are like roguelites. So. But Resident Evil is less of a spooky thing. It's more horror elements. It's more of a they're more action game, and I love them. Not really the same as the. But yeah. Well, I mean, it could be like Darkwood then. Darkwood's like a spooky survival game thing, but the map, there's like 2 or 3 different maps, and then pieces of them are always like the same, and the connecting tissue and like certain elements of story and stuff, but otherwise like where you're exploring and stuff, it's huge. Darkwood fucks. Love Darkwood. Stressful game, but it's cool, and I don't have much hope for the second one. I haven't played what's the name? The devs doing the new one. Why can't I remember the name of the game? Pathologic, yeah. But apparently, like a lot of the Pathologic people have left, all that, and I'm just like, because they seemed like the right devs for like a Darkwood 2, since the original devs kind of like relatively disbanded. I don't know. I'm not hopeful for it. I was, but not anymore. But I do want to play Path. But yeah, Darkwood's really cool. Yeah, that's a good one that has procedural elements. But I mean, it's not everything. Right? Yeah, thanks. The king. But yeah. The king. Yeah, so overall, I thought it was solid. I thought it, it wasn't, it had really unique elements that I think if you're into like horror, make it worth playing. I think some of it's tried and true, kind of bread and butter stuff, running from spooky guys and hiding, it's definitely not the best at that. It has little takes on it, like I said, the leaning and how you can hide and um all that. And like I said, futurism stuff is cool, right? Some games since this got announced kind of took the wind out of the sails on that a little bit, right? I mean, like they did a whole Alien game that's really good, Alien Isolation and all that shit. That's probably what people compare this the most to. Um, so, I think it does. I don't think it's reinventing the wheel. I think while the story's interesting to play with, it's not insanely evocative. I'm not feeling a whole lot. How they tell it's very typical, kind of like data logs and stuff, and I don't think they're like extremely interesting. But it's cool enough. Maybe some more imagery, maybe a few more shots in the ass, maybe a little pacing difference, or maybe just more of like immersive mechanics and world exploration would have been cool. But nothing that's a game breaker. I think overall, especially for $25 indie, right? I'm playing this on Game Pass, and especially something with this track record, with 13 years or whatever, they'd use enough tech and the spatial audio and all that kind of stuff really pull off an aesthetic well. There's not a whole lot of areas you spend a lot of time reusing them. It's very economical in that sense. But they do a good enough job at all that I think I would recommend this to. I'm trying to do this. I recommend it to who? Who would I recommend this to? Thing. I would recommend this to. If you're a horror fan that prefers like Silent Hill, Resident Evil, more actiony horror, I don't think this is really for you. But if you like anything that's a shade of Amnesia, don't expect the bunker. It's not immersive. It doesn't have that kind of immersive level of mechanics. But like, if you're cool with anything that's a shade of like a Clock Tower, Amnesia, that kind of thing, I think go for it. I don't think there's any reason not to play it there. If you like abstract stories, maybe not best in the business on that, but I'd recommend it if you're into that. It's cool enough because yeah, it's a short game. If this was like the same, I had the same feel afterwards, and it took me like 20 hours. I wouldn't have the same feel then, but it's cool for that. I think if you like the aesthetic, you might not be seeing a shitload of it because you are going back through a lot of the same areas. But I would definitely recommend it. They pull it off pretty well. I don't roll my eyes when I see film grain in this. We were talking about that earlier, Starfield or whatever. Like, just have film grain just because it's aesthetic. Like this owns it a bit better. If you like your ears bleeding, game's pretty good for that. Yeah, I guess that's generally who I'd recommend it for. You like hiding from spooky things. If you're a really big horror genre player, then definitely it's an easy recommend. Yeah, if you're looking for a lot of like gameplay, it's not as much. It's not a walking sim, but the puzzles are pretty much like the tension of hiding from. Okay. Cool. Maybe not. Maybe that was the best rundown, but yeah, I'm glad it didn't fucking suck shit. God damn. Yeah, I'm curious what they're gonna do now. I mean, are you just done after this? Because it was such death hell. I mean, I don't know what they did in between. I assume they were working jobs or something. Ain't no way. I mean, was this game kickstarted back in the day? Routine pops up so much. 7 years ago, the developer of the sci-fi horror game Routine has gone dark. I mean, honestly, it's a miracle it came out halfway. Yeah. It feels like a passionate game for sure. I don't think it's like uncompromisingly like niche or anything, but I think the ambiguity of the story, while not like unseen in the genre, and then like the difficulty ish of the puzzles, definitely feel like something they weren't just cranking out something that just kind of that was streamer bait by the end of it. Um, Maybe if it was like a more fleshed out world with more thought you had to put into exploring the location and stuff, kind of more niche, mixed, probably be. First game ever in Steam's Greenlight program. I don't think it's a program. Yeah, I don't think Greenlight's still around. Generally, people Kickstarters and obviously games get early access. Yeah, and I mean this is a rare one that survived that whole process. Not Greenlight, but just being remade, destroyed in that many years. There's definitely some kind of passion there, right? Some kind of soul on that front. I don't think they went like to the far reaches in terms of trying to be like extremely unique, but like I said, I think the little touches, little movement mechanics and all those little things and the gun and how you interface with the world, aesthetics, I think I think that keeps it from feeling like it's kind of like another. Because I watch a lot of shitty horror games. I watch some streamers who play like every fucking horror game I feel like that comes out on Steam, and holy fuck, them are fucked. Streamer bait, dog shit. Yeah, I think this one was more classy. I would love to see a no clip on it. Be great. I think I'm watching their Disco Elysium one now and listening to their Hades one. I just finished Hades right before this. Waiting for more of those disco videos, man. Love disco. Love their podcast too. I've been into their podcast. Really good podcast finding indie games because they're not really in the news kind of industry. So it's kind of just them recommending pretty decent shit. That's been kind of fun. Good good peeps for that. Well, anyways, yeah, appreciate everybody who came in and chit chatted. I know it was a pretty quiet run. I was kind of trying to usually with these immersion games, play it slow and try not to overly blab. But next up, fuck man. I mean, I'm hoping tomorrow Prime 4 comes in, the last Metroid Prime game ever made. That's gonna be interesting. And sad from what I've heard, but I hope it's still fun. Thinking about playing the altars. I kind of want to run through a little bit more of the 2025 stuff just because why not if I was going to play them anyways. Uh, altars was possible. There were some shooters while I was in this setup I thought about maybe doing. Like I Am Your Beast and like Mullet Magic. As far as horror goes, I want to do Look Outside before the end of the year. It's supposed to be pretty great. Now that the 2.0 is out, I want to actually really get into it. Hades 2 is coming in soon, so I'll probably do that. That 2D Terminator game, do that. And then the end of the year will be the usual the end of the year discussion, which is just me. Hopefully this year making like a fucking PowerPoint for each game, just going through every game I played, kind of discussing it, filtering through the list and picking out the good ones and then the great ones. Kind of using that as like a recommendation thing going forwards. It'd be fun. I want to try to, like I said, do a little more production on it this year. Just so it's not like me just looking at a spreadsheet with music, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's just more to talk about games. What do you mean, Akira? Which part? Make the PowerPoint and shit? I'm thinking what I'm gonna do. Yeah, it's gonna be. Well, I'm thinking I'm gonna like get together some of it while I'm at my parents' for Christmas. Like usually what I do is I just do like a playlist of like trailers for each game, which takes a really fucking long time because it's not just trailer. I know sometimes there's no trailers for some of these games. Obscure, like ancient. I was like, I wanted to get those together, and I assume you can like auto link videos to like a slideshow somehow. And then I just wanted to just take one, just format template. I don't want to do something fancy for each game. Just like, hey, here's the name of the game. Here's maybe some general gameplay shit. Maybe not even that because there's like a trailer. Here's when it, when it came out, who the devs are, that kind of thing. The name of the game, and then just like a little video, and then like maybe like a pass fail or good, great, yes, no. Just so people like there's like a little bit of like a visual to like what I'm doing instead of like just going through the spreadsheet. And then maybe every like 10 games I just show this. Just something simple like that, Like not like a crazy visual, but just like a very simple background, just to kind of make it like visually a little bit more flair and like provide more info to people. Know where we're focusing instead of like highlighting with the spreadsheet. Like I'm still gonna use the spreadsheet. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'll at least get the trailers like I do the last few years. I'll just make a playlist. But yeah, the problem is, yeah, I got like 150 games. That takes a while. Even just typing in info would still take a while. Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's just not how I do it. I do it, off the cuff and filter it multiple times, so I wouldn't even know. And you have to prep it ahead of time. Unless I only did that for like the second day, but I go for top. We'll see. It wouldn't be if I just kept a simple template, or I just typed it in and typed in a little bit of information and then just hopefully could copy paste that, put in a different video link. I assume there's a way to like I don't even think I have a spreadsheet or like a PowerPoint program. I assume there's like a way to like hot link a video to those types of things. I mean, doing those is more just for me to just talk about games we played. For me, just to kind of have fun thinking back over the year and what really stood out. I mean, this year, let's see, how many games have I beaten this year? I add this and add it. Sorry for any teen folks. I'll probably go watch a little bit of a run of this too later. Solid game. Yeah. I won't be doing any more runs today or anything. PC. When did this come out? Date. 4th. Put in my birth year. Not that old. This year, how many long games did I have this? I'm at like 118 this year. I had a few that took like a month. Fucking 100 line and blueprint rounds. By the end of this year, I'll probably just be in the 120s. I don't know if that's. I think that maybe is a little less. That's about maybe like a few less. Who knows? I mean, it doesn't matter that much. Some stuff I would like, if I do the games before the end of the year, I mean, there's like 5, 6 games there, then I wouldn't make a separate slide for each of them. And I'm not trying to like just beat a bunch of games. That's not the goal. But just like, I'd have to make a slide for each game. And some of them just, like the ones we did, like finger bones, or finger, the that game. The guy who did Iron Long and everything, finger bones, you know, I would end up talking more about the game than the length of it. So it's like, you know, making like stuff forums, maybe not like super crazy, but I mean, if I could just get like a template I make and then have an easy way to like put links into it, cool. Just like a simple look too. I don't want anything fancy, just, you know, hell, it could be fucking black text on the screen and then like make a section. It shows the goal of what I'm doing. I don't know how do I phrase it. That's how it is on the spreadsheet. It's like, does it get into the good category, and then does it get into like the best category that I believe to come out. The second bit, I would just do that probably on the spreadsheet because I'm only looking at that many games just for the first run of each game. I guess I would just put good or not good, and then I'll just maybe click on the stream like a fucking, you know, like boink, and I'll do that. Good, I made it. 10 to 12 hours put together a slideshow. If it's 5 minutes to slide thereabouts, yeah, that's the problem. We'll see. Like I said, I mean, if it's just getting together videos, that's the most important. Like putting it into like a more digestible thing for anybody who wants to come in and talk about the game. We'll see. Anywho, I don't know when I'd want to start that. I guess I would start the process. Chris, think about it. Well, I wouldn't want to do like a description of them all. The trailer's there, just kind of like the good or not good, and then I'll highlight it or circle. I don't really do. I do a worst category, don't I? Did I do that last year? I change it sometime. 2024. Oh yeah, I do it worst category. Maybe I'll just have like a circle. Like I'll have like a grayed out version of everything, and then maybe like on stream I'll just have like a thing I click to circle it, and then we'll just go on. So I don't have to have like too much production. Or maybe I just ignore good or worse, and then I just ignore the middle. I feel like there should be like a middle option I click, right? Like mediocre. Is that what that would be? I don't know. There's some stuff. I guess that'd be mediocre, right? Yeah. It doesn't matter that much. Maybe have like a stream element that I click. But having those on the screen would kind of show the goal. Probably. You'll usually do like a notable games thing too, then explain why. Probably just side. Have that. Damn. Yeah, it'll take a bit, but I mean, wouldn't that be more fun for people than just like looking at a spreadsheet? I mean, I guess with the trailer it'd be fine. Wouldn't matter that much. Could learn the dev names. when in the year it came out and have that frame of reference. I don't know if I'd want to put the platforms on there. I don't really care about that. I'd have to think about what info I want. I don't know. Let's see. Anyways, God, do I want to do anything else tonight? Probably not. I kind of want to, but kind of weird. But I want to see if Metroid Prime 4 comes in the mail tomorrow before I start anything. So, like, I'm at the bed now. It's like, wait, any mail wouldn't be there. Don't forget, guys, Thursday, dreaded Jeffy's. It's what time CST? Uh, 6:30 CST. 30 EST. We'll get all the awards done in the pre-show or whatever. Not gonna go into my Jeffy's rant for the 1,000th time here, but the Jeffy's coming up. I mean, I don't know if it comes in tomorrow. If it doesn't come in tomorrow, probably gonna just start the altars because I'm kind of in a setup for it. When are you working this week? I mean, I could play around with Prime Force data a little bit, but not too many of the games I got coming up are really good for that, except Hades 2, but I don't. 11 to 7 every day. Oof. I mean, I'm not going to bed right away, so wouldn't miss that much. We'll see. I suppose I could work multiple things at once. I don't have, other than Terminator, that much coming on Gamefly. Let's see how good Terminator 2D is supposed to be. Oh yeah, I made a bunch of notes playing this game. Didn't really need a whole lot of it. A little bit. It was like a semi-note game. Like it helped a little bit, but it wasn't like 100% necessary, except that one picture one. I don't know. Part of me wants to stream something. Part of me's tired. Kind of like in between time right now, where it's like, be kind of nice to. I don't know if I work Thursday or work Friday. Kind of hope Prime would be done, and then can focus Prime and everything Friday. And 'cause it's like, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how the Jeffy's is gonna be like a 4 or 5 hour thing. Probably won't play much Prime on Thursday. I don't know. I'm probably. What else we got on here? Awesome achievement list. I like that. There's you don't have to do anything special. I just don't give a fuck. All right. Well. Oh. Bye. Bye for now. I don't know tomorrow. It depends on Prime. If I want to start the stream like really early, maybe we'll just start something else and just start working it. I don't know how long the altars is. Or we could run through like Mullet Magic or Emery Beast. I just want some to do. The altars is like 20 to 30 hours. I don't want completion.